Hi everyone, this is Brandon with the Shelby Township Library. It's great to have you here today. Today we're going to be discussing streamable services. You may have heard about cutting the cord, or somebody watched something neat on Netflix, or maybe you purchased a new TV, congratulations, and it had a new Netflix button on that remote. What is all of this, and are you interested? These are really great questions, and that's what we're going to discuss today, is streamable services. So a couple years back, everybody kind of heard about Netflix. They were watching Netflix off of their TV, off of their computer, off of their phones. These are called streaming services. It is some kind of company or product that we will use the internet to access a large catalog of viewable media. So this is different than our traditional TV method of just having a TV on the wall, pressing the power button, wait a few seconds, and then we have our sports game, we have our favorite channels, things like that. Streaming services requiring the internet require some way to communicate to that company. So we're going to use streamable devices or a smart TV. Now, before we get too carried away, why would we even want this? Well, recently, there's been a lot of streaming services. We have Amazon Prime, we have HBO, we have Netflix, Disney Plus has become very popular. Hulu is one that we hear about. Peacock is one that's just come about the last couple of months. You're going to see an advertisement for streamable services while you're watching your, I guess, brick and mortar TV, your non-streamable services, your cable TV. It's a lot going on, and they really, really want you to subscribe. So, let's say for sake of argument, we're interested. And we have an internet connection. Is our internet strong enough? Lots of cable companies and wireless companies are going to try and convince you that you need a really big, powerful internet to stream these services. Some cord-cutting companies will tell you all you need is 5 megabytes of streamable internet. That's going to be very challenging to get from any cable company, any internet providing company. The standard you're going to see is about 20 megabytes, and 20 megabytes will do you great for HD streaming on down to standard streaming. Now, what is HD streaming? HD streaming is going to be that 4K, that 1080p, it's going to be the quality of picture that's put in front of your face. So your standard computer or laptop tends to be 1080p. TVs from 10 years ago or so tend to be 1080p, maybe 720. It's the amount of pixels across the TV screen that really help that resolution and that definition on whatever program you're watching. People will tell you, the more pixels, the better. More pixels are going to require more internet, more of that downloading megabytes, that data coming through your cable cord or through your wireless network, things of those sort. So if you get a 20 megabyte package, you will be able to stream from your TV or stream from your internet to your TV, no problem. So, how do we get these streamable services to our TV? If our TV does not have a smart function, which many TVs do now, they have the buttons dedicated on the remote, you can purchase something like a Google Chromecast. A Google Chromecast is a neat little product that we plug into the back of your HDMI port on your TV screen, and it allows you to cast, is a term meaning take digital information from your phone or your laptop and will put it on your TV. This would allow you to put things like YouTube and the other streamable services that we're going to talk about on your TV screen. The pros of this little product costs about $35 up to about $55, $70. They go on sale a lot, especially coming here in the holiday season. And they're really easy to use. The downside is if you were trying to get away from your mobile device, you're out of luck. These will use your mobile device as your TV remote, which means you kind of have another remote to deal with and lose. The bright side is it's your mobile device, so you're probably going to know where it's at. The downside is it's not going to work with a flip phone. So if you have some form of a flip device, Chromecast is not the device for you. Other popular devices that are not dependent on your phone would be the Apple TV. The Apple TV is a really neat, expensive device. We're going from that $35 up to about $150. But if you already have an iPhone, it's going to be very familiar to you. It's going to be very friendly to use. It's going to have a neat little touchscreen remote, but please note, that's another remote to have. But that will work with all of your popular services that you have out there. Now, if you have Amazon Alexa at home that you like to speak to and say, hey Alexa, do this or do that, then there is the Amazon Kindle Fire, and that is a stick, much like the Chromecast, that you would plug into the HDMI port on the back of your TV. And this would provide you the entire Amazon environment that really can be kind of neat because you can say, hey Alexa, play my favorite TV show, The Office, on the TV screen, and just like that, it's going to put it on the TV screen for you. This can be a wonderful service for people who cannot find their smartphones, or maybe if we're having some kind of memory issues, we can, instead of looking for a phone to looking for a remote or a phone to do things on the TV, we can use our voice to control our TV now. And this can be really great because we can ask the TV questions and correspond with it. So these get really powerful really quick. And Fire Sticks tend to be about $30 to $60, but are less powerful for you if you're not in that Amazon ecosystem. It's always going to be pushing Amazon products. So, we've spoken about Google, and we've spoken about Amazon and Apple. So that's everybody in the streaming service, right? Not so fast. There is a very popular product out there called Roku, who's not attached with any of those large companies, that's really been making their headways into the streamable services. Roku is a fun little stick that you'd plug into a TV, not unlike a Google Chromecast, that's going to connect you with Roku's services of free streamables, lots of other free streamable services. It's going to come with a friendly little remote that can also work to power on your TV and control the volume. So this can work great to help replace a remote and keep you down to just one singular remote, which if you're somebody prone to losing things like I am, that's a pretty good sales pitch there already. And Roku has really been on their game of upgrading and promoting their services. The screens tend to be pretty comfortable, maybe a little boring, but they work with all the popular streamable services. We have one more. So outside of the up-and-comer device there, again, the Apple TV, the Google Chromecast, the Amazon Prime, don't think we forgot about our old favorite, the old bunny ears. They're still here. I happen to have brought one from home. You can get these from just about any store that's selling any audio-visual goods. This is still going to plug in with the old coaxial, so you don't require an HDMI. And you're going to see these guys ranging from about $20 up to $75 for a really high-end one. There's still HD TV signals out there. This is going to work with your TV and with your TV standard remote. There's no batteries required, no special remote. We just put it down and attach it to the TV. It may require being by a window, but we're going to find ourselves anywhere between 20 to 100 some channels. Lots of our local TV stations have free channels that they're producing out there. They're going to put out classic syndicated shows, favorite TV shows, classic movies. There's going to be just game show channels and things like that. It's free. It just is going to cost you the old rabbit ears. Lots of people have found joy just from using this service. It's just going to be commercial supported like the good old days, I guess. I definitely encourage our patrons to take a look, and feel free to ask us if you have questions. Depending on your location city-wise, you may pick up or lose some channels. With a more powerful receiver, you may pick up many, many more channels. With a good old-fashioned $20 rabbit ear, you're going to pick up less, but I think you'll be happy with the ease of use there. It's very plug and play. Some TVs, they may ask you to scan for more channels. To do that, you take your remote, go into the menu or settings, and it'll say scan live channels. If we scan live channels, at the end, we'll pick up whatever new channels that our old rabbit ears can get. So, we've spoken about devices. We've kind of talked about why we would want it. So let's get into the thick of it of what are these apps? Who's out there? What good are they? And how much are they going to cost me? So, we're going to have some big players in the game, but there are many small players for these streamable services, really depending on your passions. Some of the smaller players is Curiosity Stream, which is going to do documentaries and science-related things. The Criterion Collection has one. Those are going to be films preserved by the Criterion Company that are, some are more artistic, some are going to be items that you know that have Bill Murray in there. Some are going to be from different countries. They have a wide array of things. Some are going to be more niche, like Crunchyroll and Funimation, that just provide streaming anime type services. And all of these ones that I mentioned are going to run you about $4.99 up to $10 up thereabout, and that's going to be monthly. The big name players can get a little more expensive, a little faster, and that's going to be Netflix, Amazon, HBO, Disney Plus, Peacock, Paramount. It sure does seem like the list goes on, and I've even made a little note in here because we think we name them all, but we still have Hulu and Amazon Prime in there. Each one of these products is their own company. It's their standalone product, and they're each going to run about $10.99 to $14.99. Some are going to go a little bit upwards depending on that streaming package. We mentioned about 4K and there's 1080p and things like that. The standard for most of these services is going to be that 1080p. So if you're paying for that 20 megabyte package, that 1080p will be perfect for you. You can handle that that 20 megabyte cable packet or internet package, and this $10 to $15 streaming service, and you'd be great to go at $40. Each of these guys are going to have different offerings. They're all going to have a rotation of classic films and TV shows. Right now, they're all commercial free. There's always rumors that they're going to change this. And each one is going to have a rotation of these films that are going to come and go. And that can be a little frustrating. It can also be really exciting because you don't know what a new month is going to bring. And there's almost this creativity arms race going on where each company is providing new and original content. Some can be family friendly, some can be a tad racy, some can make us blush, some of it can be really fun and original, and they're winning Academy Awards. So if we're looking at like Netflix, originally they had Orange is the New Black, which was based off a book at the library had. You're going to have Amazon Prime, and they've picked up Good Omens and some other different Neil Gaiman products. HBO is going to have pretty much the entire Warner Brothers catalog and a lot of superheroes. They're going to have the Wonder Woman 1984 released this summer. And for each of these products that I mentioned, the other competitor doesn't have it. So it's almost kind of like going back into the 90s when some people had Starz or HBO or Showtime and another family didn't. You're going to find yourself sometimes missing out unless you get that other package. The bright side is to the best of the library's ability, if they come out on DVD, we're generally pretty anxious to grab those. So like Stranger Things, it came out on DVD. If you didn't have Netflix but you had Amazon, you could stop at the library and we'll get you taken care of with season 1 and 2 of Stranger Things. Disney has captured the entire Marvel catalog, so if you happen to be a Marvel family, they've been producing so many popular Marvel and Star Wars works. Disney could be perfect. Disney Plus could be perfect for your family. Again, you're not going to find a lot of Disney products on Amazon, on Netflix, on HBO, because each of these companies are kind of competing for your wallet. So many streaming services. We haven't even covered some of the other popular ones. Acorn TV is going to do a lot of British products. So if you happen to find your household really enjoying some of that wholesome British programming and maybe some of those great detective shows, Acorn TV can be a popular one. The great news with Acorn TV is if you haven't subscribed to that, you'll find a lot of their products on the library streaming service called Hoopla. Hoopla is a service that we purchased back in March, and it allows you 5 free streams a month. So it's not necessarily going to replace the products that have been mentioned here yet, but it's a wonderful service that I'd encourage you to take a look at. It would have an app on Apple TV and on Roku, and you can cast from your phone to a Google Chromecast with it. So, we've covered a lot of information here, so let's recap real quickly. So we're talking about streaming services. That's Netflix, that's Amazon, that's HBO, that's Disney Plus. They're going to require a device. That can be a smart TV. That can be a Google Chromecast. That can be some Amazon products, Apple TV. That will not include our old favorite bunny ears. They're not able to use any of these apps. These devices are going to require the internet, so we're going to have an internet package, generally 20 megabytes, that will get you with a good solid stream. That tends to be around $25, $20, $30, and there's going to be different cable companies in our neighborhood that can assist you with that. After that, you're going to have any of your wireless devices to get this to your TV. So if you don't already have a modem and a router, you can get that again from your cable company. They have rental prices for those. Then you have to subscribe to each of those individual services. So once you get that all done, you're set to go. You can watch until your heart's content. Each of these services has unlimited viewing. So you're not going to find on Netflix where they're going to say, well, you watched 5 movies, that's it, we're all set. Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, HBO, they all want you to stay on the couch and watch and watch and watch and watch and go to the water cooler and tell everybody what you watched this weekend. And that can be a lot of fun. So why wouldn't you want this option? There's some kind of glaringly obvious ones. Notice in all of this, I didn't bring up sports. If you're going to manage with any of these apps here, some of them like Hulu may provide you some sports, but you're really going to want to look into the terms of service there and see what they are offering. A lot of these products will have sports-related solutions, but it may not be as good as your cable package offerings, or it may be just as expensive. There is 2 popular sports-related streaming packages, that is Fubo TV and Sling, that can provide you some live TV of your favorite sports-related events. Peacock TV, I believe, handled the Olympics over this summer. So if you were interested in watching the NFL, the NHL, NBA, underwater basket weaving group, that's not going to really be viable in a lot of the popular streaming services. They're going to be in addition to whatever your solution is. If you wanted one of these live TV packages from, say, Hulu, Sling, or Fubo, you're looking at about $35 to $70 for these streaming packages. At that point, possibly your local internet and cable provider may have a really good deal for you. That's something they can answer. Unfortunately, the library couldn't, but it's always important to price around here and get the best bang for your buck. If you are particular just about one popular sport, maybe baseball or football, they tend to have their own streaming services. You can go to the NBA, the NFL's website, and they will recommend a sports streaming service to you. Another reason that you may not want to get into these streaming apps is you do not have a reliable internet connection. It sounds hard to believe, but let's take our cabin up north or even further up into the UP, or maybe just that spot that WOW or Comcast or AT&T or Dish Network and etc. just haven't made it there yet. That's going to make it incredibly frustrating to have a streaming service, and we call it sputtering. That's where this load time is cutting us off, and it's doing something like that. So when the princess finally meets the prince and you're really excited about that moment and it freezes just like that, oh, that is incredibly frustrating, and something maybe a landline cable connection will help prevent. On that same note, if you remember some of the big storms that we had over the summer here in Shelby Township, if you lose your internet, you have no access to your streaming services. And that can be incredibly problematic, especially if you were looking forward to something or you needed a distraction because of the storm going on outside. That would be another reason not to look into it. Again, the reasons to look into it is They're really excited about this and providing us so many great award-winning shows. I hope that this answered all of your questions, and I thank you for stopping by here. If you ever have any questions, please contact the library. Again, my name is Brandon. I do the one-on-one training programs here at the library. I'd be happy to discuss with you how to get a Google Chromecast working with your TV, or looking for what channels are available on the rabbit ears, or maybe working on casting to your TV. Lots of options. Just no real wrong one as long as you're happy. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.